On the 12th of May in Parliament, the Chancellor announced an extension and a change to the Coronavirus Job Retention Scheme. There are still some details of the change to be published by the end of May, but in this short video update we'll take a look at what the Chancellor said will happen and then look ahead to what the changes from the 1st of August might look like. So the Chancellor has confirmed that the scheme will be extended until the 31st of October and that it will extend in its current form until the 31st of July. So no change until the 31st of July. Employees can remain on furlough until then and can do no work while on furlough until the 31st of July. From the 1st of August then there's going to be a change to the scheme and it's going to be possible from the 1st of August for employees to do some work, and as the Chancellor says, the government will share with employers the cost of paying people's salaries from the 1st of August. Now, what does that mean in relation to an employee who there is still no work for? Will it be the case that from the 1st of August the government will ask the employer for a contribution to the 80%? Because the Chancellor has committed to employees that even from the 1st of August through to the end of the scheme, they're guaranteed their 80% capped at £2,500 per month. I think it's unlikely that the government are going to ask an employer to make a contribution to wages of an employee who there is no work for. I think as soon as they go down that road, they're going to inevitably kickstart redundancy consultations for those employees. So I am surmising and hopeful that if an employer has an employee that there is still no work available for from the 1st of August, that the scheme will essentially continue as before for that individual. If the employer has some work for the employee but isn't able to bring them back on their normal pre-furlough contracted hours, what then? It may be the case that the employer is expected to pay the wages for the hours worked, and then the government tops up the gap between that and the 80% or £2,500 cap. That would seem relatively straightforward and logical. It remains to be seen what creases would need to be ironed out there, but it's possible that the scheme will operate on that sort of basis. It's possible as well that this will bring, I think it definitely will bring a greater degree of flexibility into the scheme, and it may also allow employers to avail of the scheme for employees who they had previously decided not to avail of the scheme for. Currently there's lots of people who are doing some work for their employer because their employer hasn't been in the position to put them on furlough because they need some work from them, just not all of their usual working hours. And it may be that some people are not on furlough but working at a reduced capacity, and their employer is probably in those circumstances still continuing to pay them full pay. And it may be then that from the 1st of August employers can avail of some help through the scheme to make up any shortfall between hours worked and pay up to 80%. So that's possible. So look out for that if you're in a position where you have employees who you know are working at reduced capacity but who you've decided to keep on and not furlough. Also then, I know there are people bringing employees on and off furlough because there's work to be done at particular times of the month, or you can save work up for 3 weeks and then bring somebody back to do some of the work before putting them back on furlough. And it may then be from the 1st of August that that's not required and that you don't have to have a 3-week block of no work. And if there's some work to be done each week, you can bring the employees in to do that work and then again continue to avail of the scheme to top up the wages to at least 80%, capped at £2,500 per month. So details of what it's going to look like from the 1st of August are to be released by the end of May. And when we know more about how it's going to work with employees doing some work and still being able to avail of the scheme, and what the Chancellor means when he says that the cost is going to be shared between employers and the government from the 1st of August, then we'll provide a further update at that time.